I'm now going to demonstrate how to groom the ear and clean it. This is so that their ears dry quickly so they don't end up with yeast infections. These dogs love water, so if they have any chance to get in it, they will, even if it's their water bowl. So basically I've lifted up her ear, and what the Australians recommend is that you comb out underneath the ear and you take a 40 blade and what we're going to do is we're going to just clean up all this hair below the ear. And on the outside of the ear. All this all under the ear, so it's not shown when the ear is laying down. But all this hair keeps the ears wet longer. Then when you're doing your weekly maintenance for flushing the ears to make sure that they are dry and the wax comes out, it makes it nice and easy. There's not a lot of hair that gets wet. Now this is what I call the U, and this is what keeps them cool in the summer, and it also helps their ears dry quickly. This is where I'm going to take a 2-inch section. I'm actually going to go down to a 30 blade. It's a little bit longer. And we're going to go underneath the ear, all the way underneath to the neck. And so she has about a 2-inch section. And what I'm going to be doing is matching that up with the other ear when I get to that side. I'm going to get her neck too. This also helps when the collar's around, it doesn't mat as much. So that's basically a cleaned up 2 inches all the way down around the neck, and it's going to match up with the other ear. Since we're doing a puppy cut on her today, we're going to actually shorten her ears a little bit. Some people have personal preference, they don't like the ears short, but I like it if it's a puppy cut, that they look like a puppy, no long ears. You want to make sure you feel where the earlobe is, and you want to go about a good finger's width below it. And I use my curved shears for this. My groomer does too. And you're going to trim just this kind of a straight curved line here to give you a guide. And you pull the ear out. And use where you cut as a guide to go around the ear. So it gives it kind of a nice little layered look. And I'm going to do the front of the ear the same way. Depending on the age of the dog, they get really used to this, and you can actually just hang the ear when you're cutting it. You don't necessarily have to hold the ear. But she's a little younger, so we're holding her ear. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off this extra hair on top so I can actually see her ears to layer them. And we're going to use her bang as kind of a guide, the longest part of her bang. I'm going to go a little shorter. Head up. What you want is a guide for the rest of her body, and this is what the head's going to be. This center cut here is going to be her guide. Okay, so now that I've got the guide up here on the top of her head for the rest of her body, what I want to do is I want to layer her ears so it looks natural, like it's just grown out naturally, all one length. So I'm going to get rid of this long extra hair off of her ear. So I'm basically just combing and pulling straight out along with the shape of her head and her ear. Just as you would kind of a human haircut. It's a little different, but it gives a nice soft, and there's her ear. What I like to do is right here on the cheek in front of the ear is pull that out and match the length of the mustache to the length of the guideline. So it gives a nice round look on her face. You see that? Yes. Compared to this side that's very long. So we're going to trim the ear, and what we're going to do is we're going to comb the ear down lengthwise, and we're going to feel where the lobe of her ear is, which is right about here. We're going to go just about a finger's width below. This makes trimming underneath a little bit easier because you're getting rid of some of this extra hair. And how we match it, the back, to make it look like a puppy, is you just use the bottom as a guide, and you cut up in a layered fashion. And then comb the front part forward. It's growing straight out of her ear, like it would naturally. We're going to go from the guide to the top guide, the ear guide to the head guide. There you go. And now I'm going to just layer the ear a little bit to take off some of the weight of the hair and give her a nice round teddy bear puppy cut look. And I take the part right at the cheek, or right behind the eye, in front of the ear, and I brush that out. I do the same thing. I use the top, the bangs as a guide, and the mustache as a guide to know the length. So now she has a nice, finish up her mustache a little bit. Good girl, Chloe. Being such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes. And now you can see both ears are even. The way you can check if they're even is literally, you can pull them down or you can pull them up. And they're both at the same length.